All right. What page am I on? Page what? 141. All right. So it says sketch a scatter plot. That would work. So problem number 1, R equals 0.95. That's pretty close to like that kind of thing. Okay, pretty straight. Everything falls into a pretty close to a straight line. Okay, yes, I'm sure that that's probably only a 0.9, but we'll call it good. Number 2, R equals negative 0.2. So that's a negative slope. Maybe it looks like that. And then number 3, R equals negative 0.5. So that's going to be a little bit more straight. Okay. And then number 4, R equals 1. Straight line. Okay. Hey, do y'all think this guy is going to be like the art major? And it's like, I think you're about an R equals 0.7 when I want a 0.8. No. But just know that, the closer you are to 0 from either side, the more scattered it becomes. Okay. Provide 3 different sketches. For number 5, 3 different sketches that have R equals 0. I'll do 1 sketch. There you go. Okay. Other ones that might take place, like this could work. This could work. I mean, those are all about R equals 0s. Just ballparking. Interpret the correlation of the context of the problem. Problem number 8. The correlation between grade point average and GP and ACT is 0.4. Okay. So for number 8, if I have an R value of 0.4, this is a weak positive correlation. Okay? Which means if this was true, this just means our data would show that the grade point average doesn't reflect what you do on the ACT. Okay? Number 9 says the correlation between consumption of carbohydrates and incidence of cancer is 0. Okay? R equals 0. Okay? This has no correlation to it, which basically means that carbohydrates and cancer in our study did not show they had any relation at all. Okay. Move down to number 10, Desmos time, I believe. Enter the data into your calculator and find the correlation. Okay, definitely Desmos. And again, friends, if it ever says do something by hand, well, you're using your hands to plug stuff into Desmos. So let's see, 4 then 8, and 10 then 5, then 7 then 5, then 8 then 3, and 5 then 4, and 6 then 5, 3 and 7, 6 and 6, 9 and 3. And if you hit the little magnifying glass, it looks like that. Let's make it a little darker so we can see it. All right. So right now you probably could speculate the correlation is going to be negative because it looks like the slope would be negative. All right. So to get the correlation, we have to use y equals mx plus b, but we're going to use y1 because our top thing's y1. We're going to use our tilde because that's telling Desmos to make an equation, mx1 plus b. All right, so we have a R value of negative 0.69. So this is a moderate, I guess, negative correlation. So pretty straightforward, I think, perhaps. And I guess this is like on 140 something. All right. The scatter plot shows the relationship between correlation or education and income. What key information is missing from the scatter plot that may provide a better understanding of this data?
Occupations.
It could be occupations, but go with the statistics. We don't have a line of best fit. We don't have a correlation at all. We don't have an R value listed. So that information, because that looks like it would have a positive correlation to it. I'd say correlation is probably in the 70s, maybe even the 60s. Yeah.
I would like to disagree with that graph entirely.
Okay.
Let's say you have someone who dropped out of like high school freshman year, and they got lucky and got like a good job somehow, of like, I don't know, a construction worker CEO or something. And then someone who worked like 16 years of school or whatever, and they're just like a McDonald's manager or something.
I'm sitting there saying, we'll work for food. So, perfect scenario. We all know a guy. You almost nailed my buddy Billy to a T, but he dropped out when he was a sophomore.
Oh.
Married a woman whose family owned a very large construction corporation in California. He got divorced. There was no prenup, so his shares, he got half her shares in the company. He has now remarried. He remarried a woman whose husband was a multimillionaire and passed away. And now he golfs 5 to 7 times a week, including golf courses like Pebble Beach, Augusta. He goes all around the United States. He's just one of those. We tell Billy, his name's Billy. It's like, Billy, you could fall into a mound of poop and still come out smelling like roses. So.
Yeah, like I always feel like it's like CEOs of construction companies.
Yeah.
Strike it rich.
Yeah, I mean, Billy is doing really well with life. I mean, he has 3 daughters from his first marriage. He has 2 stepchildren from his second marriage. All of them are all grown adults now. So he's a riot. He's the guy that if I go down to Arizona, he still lives in California, but when he's in Arizona and I'm in Arizona at the same time, he always takes us out to really nice restaurants and he pays. And here's the guy who dropped out of school his sophomore year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kid you not. It just cracks me up. It's like, I'm the most educated of the group. You know, it's like I have a master's degree and but of the group of 8 pals that I have, 2 of us have college degrees and the rest don't. I probably make the least amount of money, but I actually have the most money as far as saved for retirement.
Okay.
So, but like if you looked at my paycheck and looked at any of those other guys, they're all doing great. But I always tell them, guys, are you putting money aside? No, I got plenty of money. Now you do. Will you when we retire? Oh, I'll be fine. So when I retire in 6 months, I'll
6 months.
no, I'm just kidding.
Like,
Make it 7.
Not,
Make it 7 months. Make it 7 or 8. All right. So friends, if we estimated the correlation up above, I'd say it's positive 0.7 roughly. And then education and income appear positively associated in the scatter plot. Explain what is meant by positive association. Basically, the more education you've earned, the more money you theoretically could make. But I just gave you a perfect example of a situation that buddy of mine, he made it dropping out of school his sophomore year. So
that's why all of us should drop out.
No, I would say, please don't. All right. Let's see. So it says one theory might be represented based upon this data that is, the more education you receive, the more income you will make later in life. Does the scatter plot prove this theory? It does not. It just shows a trend of that. And I think that's the last question. Is there any questions beyond that? All right. So let me take you all on a journey.
Through the Sahara.
Let me see if I can find it.
Take you guys on a journey to the electric castle.
Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can make this work. No caller ID? Nah, ain't gonna. Nah. I already did it once.
Let's do the more.
All right, let me see if I can make this work.